Don, before I let you go, I have a couple questions. I asked people on Reddit, on the Live from New York subreddit, for some questions. If you don't mind, could I ask you a couple of them?
Sure.
Cool. So the first one comes from a user Solid as Barack, who says, obviously using cue cards reduces the risk of issues with teleprompters, but have you ever had tech issues that occur live that had to be worked around?
Yeah, it's primarily related to cue cards and
I think they just mean anything with Saturday Night Live. They're just saying how the cue cards reduce risk, but have there been other types of technical issues that you've had to work around during the show?
well, when I first started, I thought, oh, why aren't we using teleprompters? And why are we using this giant crane that has been replaced by a jib in most cases, which is a remote camera up on an arm, and it's operated by just one guy on the floor. It doesn't take as much food and has a lot of visual flexibility. Uh, but I came to realize that the old-fashioned part of Saturday Night Live is partly what makes it work too. If we're using teleprompters, the teleprompters are mostly mounted on the lens of the camera, so that when you read the teleprompter, it looks like you're staring right at the lens. And most of the time, we're doing sketches where we want to create the illusion that the actor is not looking at the lens, but looking at the character, the actor he's playing with. And so we put the cue cards over here, and then those cue cards can move when he turns to address the home audience, and then they can move back when he's talking to this person. Or it might be there are two sets of cue cards, so he can look here and he can look away and grab some dialogue over here and look back. And it's we have an amazing cue card department that keep up with all those changes I talked about earlier. I have no idea how they do it. They manage to make those changes happen on multiple sets every single show. And they just know how to keep that eye line, keep the illusion of the eye line in play. Uh, the fact that the show is live and not even on a 5 second delay means that there are things that can happen, and a slide chain can die, or a change to a shoulder graphic and weekend update could change to the wrong cartoon over a shoulder. We've had sets that don't quite get finished at the last minute in a 2 minute commercial break, and we've had times when a set the support of a flat broke off, and there's a guy behind it holding it, trying to keep it from falling down into the set. That's
Oh,
how.
didn't that happen during a dress run for a Bill Hader sketch? Didn't Justin Bieber almost get hit by a set falling piece? It was like the
Right,
Big Daddy sketch, or I can't remember the name of it.
right. That was in a commercial break in the set change. We had one before that though, where Fred Armisen was playing a guy who was doing his own talk show from his home, and that set piece broke, and it started to waver, and there were three guys behind it trying to hold on to it, and you can see it waver a little bit behind Fred when he first started the sketch, and you hear the audience laugh because the live audience is sitting there watching and they know what's happening, and so they're laughing at something the people at home don't quite understand, but something like that, a missed shot or a camera that goes into another camera's shot happens often, or too often, and yet I guess that's part of the joy of watching it live and knowing that anything could happen, but most of the time nothing wayward does.
This next question comes from Noah RR, who says, throughout your tenure, what has been the biggest change or evolution within SNL since 2006, and how has it evolved? And he also says, King is a legend.
Well, he may be thinking of Billie Jean King. Uh, um, I think when I mentioned the crane and I mentioned the cue cards, there is no other show left over like Saturday Night Live that has so many basic fundamentals of old time television that are still done this way and done well this way, and I'm just so joyful that I got the chance to be a part of this for the last 15 years. it is pure live television in every sense. There are no robotic cameras, and that crane that I mentioned is operated by four guys, a brilliant camera operator who sits in a bucket, and two guys who handle the arm of it, and another guy that sits in the back who drives it. And it's a big, cumbersome piece, but they move it around brilliantly, and they make it fly and swoop, and they fit in between the audience, and they'll go up and handle a major sketch where they're tucked in and they're doing all the close-ups, and it's just amazing to be a part of those artists. We have the best scenic artists and the best prop guys and the most amazing stage crew. They're like the Rockettes. They're choreographed in how they set up and strike sets, and to just sit back and realize that I play a little part of it in this team. It does feel like we're an all-star football team.